Don't wait for the people closest to you to believe in you. To start, they will be the last people to believe in you. Self-love and selfish together are like breathing in and breathing out. What do I mean when I say this? So, when I take in too much self-love, it's time to become selfless. And when I'm too selfless, it's time for me to look after myself and go into self-love. Shivani Sandeep Arora, please clear the difference between self-love and selfishness. What a beautiful question. So Shivani, for me, self-love is where you prioritize your own self for your own needs. Selfishness is when you over-prioritize yourself. So there's a thin line between the two. And how would you know the difference? When you totally stop doing things for others and the only person that matters is you, then you know you've become selfish. So there's a win-win and there's a win-lose. So you want to be careful that everything that you do has a win-win or at least a win-neutral. That if I am going to do something for myself, it should not harm or hurt anybody. Now, win-win is the best option. Win-neutral works, but win-lose doesn't, which means now you've stopped caring about others and the only thing that matters to you is you yourself. That's when you know you've gone too selfish. For me, self-love and selfish together are like breathing in and breathing out. What do I mean when I say this? So, when I take in too much self-love, it's time to become selfless. And when I'm too selfless, it's time for me to look after myself and go into self-love. So they are like a loop. So any one thing overdone is wrong. If I give too much, I will become bitter and resentful. And that's the way I know that I'm giving too much. When I start to see I'm becoming bitter, resentful, angry, hurt, if these are my emotions, I'm complaining a lot, I'm blaming someone for my life, then I know I have overgiven. Okay? The opposite is also true. When I start to only look after myself, then at some point I feel like, no, you know what? I live in a society, I live in a community, I too live in a joint family, so must give also. So a combination of breathing in, breathing out is the best. Only breathing in, wrong. Only breathing out, wrong. So you wanna get into that dance, okay? And the dance it's totally okay. It doesn't have to be in balance, it just needs to be in harmony. Okay, so all the time you can't say, okay, now I did one thing for myself, I have to do one thing for someone else. No, you can do it in harmony. You can look back at your week and say, okay, this week, was it more puja specific or was it more people specific? Now, if both my sons are going to be here the next 1 week, what's going to happen? I'm going to make it a lot about them, right? So it's going to become family specific. So I'm going to give a lot more. Then the following week, once they leave, I will need to reimburse that energy of mine, correct? So then I will take a lot more. So like that, you keep on doing the dance and checking into your awareness. Okay, kahan pe hu main and what do I need, you know? How can I play this role? Especially if you hear someone complaining, then you know that, you know what? Okay, you can check in that, are they being honest about what they're saying? Is it true? Have they got neglected? If I know, like I haven't spoken to my dad in 2 weeks, I know that, okay, I need to speak to him. It's been too long. If I've spoken to them or overspoken to them 3 days in a row, then I know that, you know what, I can take time off. So like that, we always have that awareness once we tap into it. Passion for art, Annie. How to keep ourselves motivated in the beginning when we don't get any support from closed one? Very good question, Annie. So Annie, right in the beginning, one of the things we have to understand is that nobody can see our vision. Okay, when I was starting out in the beginning, I needed maximum self-confidence. It was at its lowest. So I used to tell Puneet, I'm going to buy you a watch one day, this 10 lakh rupee Rolex watch. I'm going to buy you a car one day. And in his head, I know he used to be laughing at me. कि यार तू अपना 25,000 महीने का कमा ले, वो ही बहुत है. पहले, at least start earning the salary that we give to our staff first, at least manage that much. That's how he used to be looking at me, that what do you know about money and life and things. So I want all of us to know that right in the beginning, people haven't seen in us what we know is there inside of us. So either surround yourself in tribes like mine where people can believe in you before you even believe in yourself, or you can start to really not wait to be supported, to be seen, to be, just do what you need to do. Like I remember for the first 5 years almost, my husband had not heard even one talk of mine between 2010 and 2015. Maybe the only talk he came for was that 15 minutes TEDx talk. I don't think he came for anything else. So he had actually never heard me. You know how he used to get to know about my work? When I used to enter a party and people used to come and say, Puja, you've changed my life, or you've changed my sister's life. That's how he was like, oh wow, you're doing some good work. Otherwise, I stopped trying to establish to him how good I am at what I do, because it wasn't making any sense, you know. They couldn't see it, especially in the beginning. So this is not to demotivate you in any way, but for me to tell you that don't wait for the people closest to you to believe in you to start. They will be the last people to believe in you. I can tell you, first, like, people, strangers in the world started to appreciate my work. Then maybe his far off friends started to appreciate my work. Then my closer friends started to appreciate my work. Then his family started to appreciate my work. And I can tell you that the last people to appreciate my work were the people who live in this house. And that's bound to happen because they had seen such a different version of me that they did not know what work I was doing, how I had been studying, how I had been working so hard, how I was collecting all of this information. I mean, I used to study for hours and hours. I remember at one point, one of the years, I did one book a day. So I almost read 300 to 400 books in that 1 year. You know, I used to spend hours studying when people used to be watching like different serials and this and that. I had no time for all of that. I was just busy consuming, hoping that someday it comes out the right way. So if any one of you here is a lifelong learner and is consuming, and people around you are feeling like kuch farak to pad nahi raha, just hold on, my sweetheart, you are a bamboo. There will come a time where suddenly you will rise so high that they will all look at you and salute you. So hang in there, my darling. And if you have no one to believe in you, join my tribe, because I believe in you, because I was you 10 years ago.